The camera is looking at you and you are clearly not tanned.
Who keeps wine in a juice container in a fridge when you have 3 kids under the age of 8?
His stinking eye fell out.
The mum looks at me and says, oh no, not again.
Kicking off 2025 with a bang. Welcome to 2025.
Happy New Year.
Yes.
New
I
Year.
haven't seen you all year.
Oh. That leads us into what this episode is. We will be quite transparent. This is a pre-recorded episode because we are on holidays at the moment.
I'm not recording on New Year's Eve. Sorry.
So we have pre-done this episode. It's a speed round episode. We're
So if
dropping
anything
in.
happens dramatic, we don't know about it yet.
Oh yeah,
This is cool. Well, I don't know.
I don't know why you thought
The
that's so
idea
cool.
of like, I don't know. Anyway.
So we're not catching up because we don't have anything to catch up on because this is pre-recorded.
Let's makeshift a story.
What?
How's the beach been?
Oh, beach is amazing.
Yeah, good.
I've got a tan. I'm so brown right now. Sam's looking at me funny. I've never tanned in my life.
The camera is looking at you and you are clearly not tanned. I said, let's
I was
make up a
like,
story on our holidays. Let's not make believe.
Anyway, right now
Frick.
I'll probably be trying to get a tan. Anyway, we are doing kind of a speed round episode. We're
No,
dropping
we'll be
in
driving.
Yeah, true. We're going to, probably in the middle of driving right now. Woohoo.
7 hours. Woo! Okay, continue.
Anyway, we'll probably come back with a epic road trip
We will.
story. Anyway,
Maybe we should take some stuff and record it.
No, I'm not recording at all. We already have to pack so much to go away with 3 kids.
We might video vlog it. Keep an eye out on socials.
There might be a couple of road trip fails in there.
Road trip reels.
But-
Sorry.
Speed round holidays. We're popping in so we can keep the laughs going. Keep the real laugh styling. Not like you sound like you were choking on something.
Yeah, just about as much tanned as you are.
So Sam has told me.
I got a few
you've
jokes.
pre-warned me that you've got some dad jokes, and then we've got some
Nah.
babysitter stories.
All right, so we've got jokes.
All right.
These are all New Year themed. Mm-hmm. Last year, I was able to keep all of my New Year's resolutions tucked away in a journal on a bookshelf.
Same.
It kind of hits home, doesn't it?
I was waiting more for the if you don't set them, you don't.
Achieve them.
Well, if you don't set them,
you don't.
achieve them all.
You fail. Yeah,
you don't fail.
Yeah.
I mean, that's some motivation for you this year.
How can you keep a New Year's resolution to read more while never opening a book?
Wow.
Turn the captions on TV. I'd like to read more.
That's a very you joke.
That's a very me joke because
Mr.
that is
doesn't read
something
books.
I would do. Final thing. Have you got a date for New Year's Eve yet?
Oh, I'm kind of hoping you'll be my date.
Sorry, I already got a date.
What?
December 31st. So good.
With your dad jokes.
So good.
I can't believe people voted for you to keep these in the podcast. To anyone rolling your eyes right now, I put polls out there.
Setting off
and people
2025.
voted for this. So
Kicking off 2025 with a bang.
anyway,
Hopefully not literally because we don't know yet.
babe.
Well, no. Okay, no.
Hopefully
Oh,
not.
actually, no. Because we live on the Sunshine Coast,
Yes.
we're not kicking the year off with a bang because they cancelled the midnight fireworks.
Controversial.
Because our council sucks. Just putting it out there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Not that we stay up to midnight anymore now that we've got kids. Who's up till midnight these days?
well, not when we're driving 7 hours the next day. So,
Well,
all right, babysitting fails.
babysitting fails. This came up because this is a time of year everyone's getting babysitters. They want to go out to New Year's parties. They want to go out
Love
to
have babysitters.
Well, I'm like, where
Except
do you
our
find
family
one for
are
New Year's?
taking a break from us.
Yes. So it is a time of year though with Christmas parties, all the things.
Yes.
Everyone's getting babysitters. So I got sent an article that these stories are all from. Someone sent me, so kind of sent.
Well, I suppose because we couldn't put a call out.
Yeah, and it's holiday
And
time.
it's
We don't want to
holiday
make you guys
time.
doing any heavy lifting, sending us your stories.
So we're doing some themes.
But these are stories that people have sent through. Story number 1. I was babysitting my 3 neighbors' kids that I always babysat. I was probably 13 at the time and the youngest was probably 2. He'd always had a cup of juice right before he went to bed. So I went to the fridge, grabbed the container that the juice was always in and poured him a cup of juice. The parents came home later, as per usual, paid me and I went home. Later, I got a call on the house phone that my mum answered, and it was the parents asking me if I used the container in the fridge for juice. I said yes, obviously. Turns out that container was filled with red wine, and that's what I gave the toddler before bed. How was I meant to know that it was wine? Who keeps wine in a juice container in a fridge when you have 3 kids under the age of 8? Babysitter fail. Kind of, I feel like that's more of a parent fail than a babysitter fail.
That's not a babysitter fail. That's a parent fail.
Wow. How do you even get wine in a juice container? This is probably years ago. They had a house phone, called on the house phone. So
how do you get a wine in a juice container?
No, as in it doesn't come in a juice container. I'm sure they didn't just pour it in a juice container.
Why not?
Why would you do that?
I feel like that's exactly what they did.
Anyway.
So extra parent fail, because why would you put wine in a juice container?
I bet that toddler slept great though.
Unless they drink cask wine. In which case, extra parent fail.
Why? Just because you disapprove of cask wine?
Crap wine. Do better as a parent and as a human being. Drink wine. I promise I haven't started. I have a family I babysit for whose son has a prosthetic eye. While having movie night with them, he turned to me and said, "Oh crap, my eye fell out," and proceeded to hand me his eye. I popped the eye back in, no problem, but his stinking eye fell out.
How many babysitters can say that happened to them? Like, I was babysitting a kid and his eye fell out.
I just put it in, but his eye fell out. What? I didn't expect that. I really didn't expect that.
You know, the parents tipped extra for that one.
I really didn't expect that.
It's a really,
Wow.
lucky the babysitter wasn't squeamish or anything. Like, you had to pop his eye back in.
That'd be great. Yeah, like the socket. Because it's not like they'd put a prosthetic.
Okay, you've started thinking about it too much now.
Yeah,
I can see you
It's not like they've made a prosthetic eye socket too. It's just the eyeball. So what's the eye socket look like?
Yeah, no.
Hello.
Yeah, don't.
Next.
One time I was babysitting these kids for the first time. As soon as their parents left, they approached me with a folded over sheet of paper and told me they were learning cursive in school. They asked me to write my name in cursive to see how it looks. I, a fool, signed the paper. They proceeded to unfold it, revealing to me that I had just signed a contract that I would let them stay up till midnight. I shudder to think where they are today.
You got done. Always read the paper you're signing.
They got you. Good.
That's pretty clever. There's 2 kids, ages 4 and 2, that I'm supposed to put to bed. They share a room and these kids really don't want to go to bed. After their bed routine, I put them in their bed, turn off the light and close the door. As I'm walking down the stairs, I hear them start to chant, "I hate this," repeatedly. I called their parents, who found it amusing because the father had said it earlier in front of them by accident.
Awesome. That's a parent fail turned into a babysitter story of legend. I hate this.
That's so funny.
Oh, at least it was the babysitter and not the dad who said it, not the babysitter.
Not the babysitter. Yeah, I've heard plenty of those stories before. Oh, you got a big one.
Oh, this is a big story. I was babysitting 4 siblings one time who ranged from the ages of 2 to 12. I was sitting at a table working on a paper for college. I looked up and noticed the 2-year-old was not with her siblings watching TV. I asked if they knew where she went. They said she went to her room. I got up to go check on her. When I walked in the room, horror and anxiety took over my body. This little 2-year-old decided to finger paint all over the room and her face with her own poop. It was everywhere, all over the walls, all over her bed, in her hair, covering her face. I don't even know where all this poop had come from. Panic set in, realizing that the parents would be coming home soon and I needed to get everything cleaned up or they would never trust me again. I picked up the 2-year-old, holding her far away from me as possible, looked at her dead in the eye and said, "Don't touch me." I brought her to the bathroom, set her in the tub and started to clean her off. Right about then, I hear the door open. Again, panic sets in and my heart is racing. What am I going to say to these parents? I managed to get the 2-year-old almost completely clean and walked out to the parents with the child in hand. The mum looks at me confused and says, "What happened?" Both parents staring at me. I managed to get out. So they were watching TV and I realized she wasn't with them. I went to check on her and she decided to finger paint with her poop all over the room. The mum looks at me and says, "Oh no. Not again." I can't express the relief I felt knowing that this was not the first time it had happened.
That child needs therapy.
Kids don't know stuff's gross sometimes.
It's an artist at heart. That would
We've had so many people send us stories like this of their kids painting the room or painting stuff with their poop, playing with their poop. Like, we had that whole segment. We've learned that we don't do that segment anymore because, you know, we don't love to focus on the poop. But it happens.
It's a lot of poo.
We'll say the babysitter probably should have been paying better attention.
That's a stank.
But
yeah, that's bad.
Oh, not again.
Considering the stank of just changing a nappy, let alone having it smeared all over the room.
I think the grossest thing about the smearing all over the room is, like, yes, you can clean it up, but what if you miss something?
The cracks and crevices.
Yeah, and what if you miss it? Like, that's the... Because if you're messy like we are, our kids' rooms are an absolute mess. It would not be an easy, "Oh, there's a little bit there, wipe it up and it's done." Like,
yeah.
Oof.
I made the boys I was watching enchiladas for lunch. They complained it was spicy but tasted so good, so I made them finish the whole thing. I later found out I drenched the tortillas in spicy salsa and not enchilada sauce, which explained a lot. Oops.
I mean, they couldn't have been in that much pain if they weren't, like, crying and they were like, "It still tastes good." Like, sounds like she only had to, like, gently encourage. It wasn't like she was like, "You have to eat it."
It's not like those dumb bums you see, like, with the chili things where they, like, do their gloves or whatever and then they take their gloves off and they like nick something and then they go.
I've seen that video.
Yeah, it's hilarious.
I know what you're talking about.
You know what I'm talking about. Because he's going, anyway. Next one.
I was 13 and I had to pee. I left the baby on the playmat on the floor. The baby was 3 months old and the mum had assured me he wasn't rolling yet. I came out of the bathroom and the baby is not there.
Uh-oh.
I run around frantically calling the baby's name, which would have been terrifying if he answered in hindsight, on the verge of tears, sure that the Goblin King has taken this child, until I hear the cooing. The adorable little was lying in a coat closet 6 or so feet away from the mat. I told his mother with confidence that that kid can absolutely roll over or they've got a really mean ghost in the house.
The kid can roll. That's a funny one. Frank put this kid out.
They just move you. Love it.
Poor kid.
Oh, I feel like babysitters get it even worse than the parents sometimes because kids act out.
You're responsible for kids.
You're responsible for kids that you don't know well. You're not in the groove of doing it constantly 24/7. And you're relying on information from others that
I'm
is
more than
not
happy
always
to look
accurate.
after my kids, but I don't want to look after anyone else's kids. Let alone my kids.
All right, there's one more
No,
story.
we love our
One more
kids.
story, you can do it.
I had a Red Bull because I was babysitting after work. I left it on the table and went to pee. Just stop going to pee, people. Like, hold it. Left it on the table because I went to pee. when I came out, the 2.5-year-old I was babysitting was finishing it off. She ran around in circles uncontrollably for 20 minutes like Beavis and Cornholio, and then just wiped out and slept for the rest of the day.
The high and then the crash. Wow. Yeah. Well, I think going to the bathroom is that key
That's going to be me a bit later because I may have had 2 Vs today instead of my normal one.
Well, we're going to wrap this up and let you have some great holidays before Sam does ultimately crash on the couch and pass out from this.
Couch is actually quite comfy.
But welcome to the new year. Add us to your lineup for the year. We're here every week sharing stories as things happen, especially while you're on holidays. Kids do the craziest stuff when you're on holidays.
Have some fun.
Yeah, make sure you send us your stories. Follow us on socials.
Video it if your kid is doing something funny. Sorry.
Only if it's safe to do it. You see all these videos of kids doing stuff and I was like, why is the parent videoing right now? They should be intervening. Anyway, so follow us on socials. That's what I was saying. You interrupted. Follow us on socials. All the best bits are there and we will see you next week.
I blame the V. Bye.